I think there's a couple, but let me just stick right now with that question, what the most important one is, and that is people and being able to not only delegate, but being diplomatic and at the same time hearing everybody out. That's in, you can't talk to everybody, but if you lead with people over profits, genuinely in your heart, that's tied into your system, then I think that if you could master that, it allows you to grow pretty fast afterwards. Yeah, so we're resolving conflicts with employees. I don't want to say a lot, but sometimes in our organization, employees come across the same potential clients, and there's always that thought, it's mine, or the other person says it's mine, but the truth is it's Epic's, right? So however the client was acquired, if there's a sit down with clear communication, understanding each person's roles and responsibilities, what I always want to default to, especially if you can't prove who it was, is to have everybody win, because the client always has to win first. But even if the agents have to support each other, or the employees in a scenario have to support each other, that's one of the ways that we resolve conflicts. When it comes to clients that get upset, and this happens with agents too, we call it deletion, dilution, distortion. Sometimes clients have fake confusion because in their world, and this could be a real thing, but in their world, they may be going through a tough time, or they really didn't understand what was being given to them. But let's assume they're going through a tough time. What's important is when that money gets tight, people begin to react and act differently. It happens to everybody one way or another. So if you take a step back, and what we do is really sit down and listen to make sure that we understand what exactly is at the root of whatever the challenge is, to help the client through that situation by being a level 5 listener and doing the best we can to resolve it by just taking the time with patience and not get frustrated, and make sure that they feel that not only do we care, and they know we care, so it makes it easier to have a real conversation. If you avoid the client, if you don't call the client back, if you're short with the client, then you're going to do everything you can to sabotage that relationship on a subconscious level. Yeah, someone says just start a business, that's like real vague. It's like a general thing. But if you have a do-it-yourself kit on how to start a business, the first thing you want to look for is an accountant. The second thing you want to look for is an attorney. And then the third thing you want to look for is who your vendors are, who's your financial planning. But if you start with an accountant and an attorney, you're in a good place to really get that do-it-yourself kit on how to start your business. And I think that's where I would go as a 1-2. Might not matter who's 1 or 2, but understand the importance of those 2 components, because guess what? If you start a business and it does really well and you don't have those, then you're going to give all your money back in either tax or lawsuit. Yeah, so I think for me, if somebody wants to be a 9-to-5, if it is to be, it's up to me. I'm not going to convince somebody against their will. It's not my job. If my brother-in-law, my sister, they're 9-to-5. They both have pensions. That's what they want. And I love them both for it. I'm not here to change what they're doing. Now, don't live that life and then complain you don't have money, right? Because then that's another side of the equation, and we could have a different conversation. But if somebody said to me, Rob, I have a 9-to-5 and I want to learn how to become an entrepreneur, what I would suggest that, you're going to give some stuff up at night. Once again, you got to go invest into certain courses that could teach you how to open up your own business, not just start a business, but what are the 1, 2, 3 action steps that you have to do to do it? And be ready to commit every night, and also know whatever you think is going to happen on a certain timetable, it'll never happen the way you expect it and in the time you expect it. But if you have belief and you stick to the system and the process, it will happen probably better than you even could have anticipated. So when Chris talks about, being in the business versus then being on the business, in the business was me in 2000, really 9, 10, 11, 12, up until 2 years ago, where I was a very good earner, very good producer, but the business relied completely on me. Fast forwarding, working on the business as a business owner, in 2022, I really dealt with 5 clients of the 700 clients that we got. So normally that wouldn't happen, but because I had trained the whole team and we brought in the right people to maintain the systems and processes, I was able to step away and really build out other crucial relationships to make our business work. And in that example of being on the business, not getting caught up in day-to-day, not trying to control things, but really trusting the process through the proper people that you brought in, the proper training. And that's where, we've seen massive acceleration. When you go from the hustler who gets you here, those components as a CEO don't work. So you need to adapt to whatever those components are to become that CEO and fire the hustler. Make sure you get with a mentor that is not going to show you how to get to 1 million, but show you how to get past 1 million, and for whatever that's going to take you to. And that mentor, you want to make sure they're still on the come up, and you will do everything you can to buy, track, and follow them, all their programs, match and mirror +1, or do what they're doing and just add a little flavor to it. And don't be scared to work for free for them as you're learning the whole game. And you'll know if that's the right person or not by spending time with them, but make sure whoever it is, they have integrity, their action is louder than words, and their result is congruent to what they said they were going to do. So, listen, I always feel that if you want to get the best bang, not only for your buck, but also be able to build a business, the accountant, the estate attorney, the trust officer, the insurance agent, they should all be on the same page for the benefit of what your goals and objectives are. And even if you have disjointed pieces, by having the Epic Wealth Builder, that's one of the gifts that we give away for free, they could all be on there, and it's going to be up to the planners to get along for your benefit, not for their ego, for their benefit. So with that, go ahead and click the link below. It's for free. One of my team members will sit down with you, take you through the success process, really share with you what is the do-it-yourself mindset and kit on how to get to these answers and how to ask the right questions so you're cutting through time, standing on the shoulders of other people, turning decades into days by collapsing time and making good decisions by accelerating through other people's success. Hopefully this video gave you some nuggets, some information where you could get on that launching pad and really make good decisions so you could really kind of create that generational wealth that you want to create. If so, go ahead and subscribe and like it. Go check out this other video here, because as we stack and build, we always want to make sure that we're congruent in the approach that we take.